began as nothing more than a whisper, the kind of rumor that slips through sneaker forums and social media threads before anyone realizes how real it might be. Word spread that Jordan Brand was preparing to offer Caitlin Clark a $50 million partnership, the biggest endorsement deal in women's basketball history. Within hours, the speculation turned into a frenzy. Screenshots leaked, influencers weighed in, and before the day was over, the sports world was divided between disbelief and awe. Could it really be true that the Jumpman logo was ready to crown Caitlin Clark as its new face? Not just for women's sports, but for an entire generation? Behind the scenes, agents, executives, and brand strategists were in overdrive. Kane, the powerhouse agent who represents Caitlin Clark and a roster of WNBA superstars, found her name once again at the center of chaos. As the vice president at Excel Sports Management, she had already negotiated one of the biggest deals in women's basketball, an 8-year, $28 million Nike contract for Caitlin before her rookie season even began. But after one record-breaking year, those numbers suddenly looked outdated. The Caitlin Clark phenomenon had outgrown the very system that birthed it. She wasn't just a player anymore. She was a cultural movement, a symbol of how women's basketball could become mainstream entertainment, commanding global attention and financial power previously unimaginable in the WNBA. Then came the sighting that ignited it all. 2 Jordan Brand representatives were seen courtside at an Indiana Fever home game. No media credentials, no fanfare, just quiet observation. A fan caught them on camera, posted it online with a simple caption, "Jordan in the building for Caitlin," and the spark became an inferno. Within hours, insiders connected the dots. Jordan Brand had filed 3 new trademarks, Clark 1, Clark Pro, and Be Like Her. For sneaker enthusiasts and marketing analysts, that was as good as confirmation. Jordan wasn't just thinking about Caitlin Clark. They were building an empire around her. Caitlin Clark's impact on the sport has been undeniable. Her arrival in the WNBA didn't just boost ratings, it redefined them. Her games consistently outdraw others, her jersey sales rival NBA rookies, and her highlights dominate every major sports outlet. The Indiana Fever, once struggling for relevance, suddenly became a national phenomenon, with nearly every one of their 44 games broadcast on national television. Even the reigning WNBA champions, the New York Liberty, couldn't match that exposure. It was clear. Caitlin Clark wasn't just the future of women's basketball. She was its present. Jordan Brand knew exactly what they were doing. For decades, the Jumpman logo had defined greatness in men's basketball. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Zion Williamson, Luka Doncic, Jason Tatum, all part of a lineage of excellence that shaped the culture of the game. But the women's division of Jordan Brand had never had that same transcendent figure. Someone who could bridge sport and pop culture, someone who could sell sneakers to fans who didn't even play basketball. Caitlin Clark was the missing piece. If the rumors were true, this deal wouldn't be about sneakers at all. It would be about rewriting history. The reported $50 million partnership was said to include a 10-year contract, a signature shoe line spanning both performance and lifestyle wear, creative control over design and branding, and even equity in Jordan's women's division. It would be the first time a female athlete was given the same financial and creative platform as her male counterparts. From a business perspective, the numbers added up. Analysts projected that a Clark 1 sneaker line could easily generate $200 million in revenue within its first 3 years. That would make the $50 million payout look less like an expense and more like an investment. And from a cultural standpoint, it would represent something far greater. The first time a woman stood on equal footing with the biggest names in the sneaker world. But things weren't that simple. Jordan Brand operates under the Nike umbrella, and Caitlin Clark is already a Nike athlete. That meant this wasn't just a sponsorship battle, it was a corporate tug-of-war. Nike's basketball division wanted to keep her under their control, pushing her as the face of their next generation of performance apparel. Jordan Brand wanted to make her the centerpiece of their women's expansion, the symbol of a new era. Insiders called it a friendly civil war, but behind closed doors, the competition was fierce. Meanwhile, Indiana Fever owner Steve Simon watched the chaos unfold with mixed emotions. On one hand, Caitlin Clark had single-handedly transformed his franchise's fortunes. Ticket sales, merchandise, and media coverage were soaring. On the other hand, he knew that once a player's brand grows bigger than the team, control becomes complicated. It's the same challenge NBA teams faced when LeBron James became his own global enterprise. The athlete becomes the brand, and the team becomes the supporting act. Simon reportedly held private discussions with league officials, trying to find balance in a new world where the players, not the organizations, drive the business. Inside WNBA locker rooms, the reactions were just as divided. Some players celebrated Caitlyn's success, seeing it as a win for every woman who'd ever been told her sport didn't matter. Others felt uneasy about the growing gap between one player's endorsement money and everyone else's salary. A few stars even hinted at favoritism and overexposure, while fans debated endlessly online. Was Caitlin Clark overhyped, or simply earning what she deserved? Whatever the opinion, one thing was clear: every conversation led back to her, every headline, every highlight reel, every brand pitch. She had become the gravitational center of women's sports. The rumored Jordan campaign, titled Be Like Her, would reportedly mirror the iconic Be Like Mike commercials from the 1990s, but with a modern twist, celebrating individuality, empowerment, and authenticity. Instead of telling girls to imitate greatness, it would encourage them to become their own legend. The visuals imagined for it were electric. Young players sinking deep threes on cracked neighborhood courts, Caitlyn lacing up her signature sneakers before a sold-out crowd, and a voiceover about rewriting the game on your own terms. It would be nostalgic and revolutionary all at once, and Jordan Brand, masters of storytelling, knew exactly how to pull it off. International expansion was also part of the plan. Jordan Brand has been building women's basketball clinics in Europe and Asia, waiting for the perfect ambassador to lead them. Caitlyn's image, confident, humble, and universally appealing, fits perfectly into that vision. She's relatable enough to connect with young athletes, yet aspirational enough to represent global excellence. Reports suggested the deal could include a world tour, an annual Clark Classic exhibition event, and even a scholarship initiative for young female athletes under the Jumpman banner, while Nike reportedly scrambled to renegotiate her deal, offering an early signature, line rollout, and the possibility of her own sub-brand. Insiders claimed Jordan Brand had something far more attractive: creative control. They weren't just offering her money, they were offering her influence. That alone could make all the difference. Financially, Caitlyn's impact has already reshaped the market. In her rookie year alone, she generated over $100 million in additional media value for the WNBA. Merchandise sales, ticket demand, and TV ratings all skyrocketed, pushing the league's economic footprint to new heights. Her personal brand, measured in visibility and engagement, now rivals that of many top NBA stars. The idea of a $50 million deal isn't just plausible, it's overdue. But beyond the numbers lies something more profound. Caitlin Clark represents every player who pushed through empty gyms and low pay, every young girl who dreamed of seeing her sport taken seriously. She's the embodiment of progress, proof that talent and hard work can redefine what's possible. Whether she signs with Jordan Brand or stays loyal to Nike, she's already won the bigger game, changing how the world views women's sports and proving that excellence speaks louder than marketing. In the end, the rumor itself became part of her legend. Whether or not the ink ever dries on that $50 million deal, Caitlin Clark has already rewritten the rules. She's the athlete every brand wants, the story every network follows, and the symbol every young player looks up to. The Jumpman has always stood for greatness that transcends limits. Now, it might just find its next chapter in a young woman from Iowa who turned the impossible into inevitable. If you've made it this far, what do you think? Should Caitlin Clark join Jordan Brand and become the face of a new generation? Or should she stick with Nike and build her empire under the swoosh? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more deep dives into the biggest stories shaping the sports world today.